Hello, today is Wednesday and we are here again. And today the topic of our webinar is festivities and traditions across the world. Today we decided to extend the topic and we are going to move from Europe, where we will have some countries to talk about, to China. I would like to present you our guests today. The first presentation about France will be made by Anita. Bonjour. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
Anita will tell us about festivities in France. The second one will be Maya. Hi, Maya. Добрый день. And she will tell us about Croatia. Then from Croatia, we will go to Portugal, and Marta will tell us what is so interesting and unusual about two festivities in Portugal. And then from Europe, we are going to China, and Anna will tell us about Chinese festivities. Hi, Anna. And that is our plan for today. Then, festivals, festivities, traditions across the world. And we are continuing. We are going to Portugal now. And Marta will tell us, okay, Marta has already started talking about the Carnival in Portugal, but definitely there are much more festivities there.
So thank you for having me, and it's a great honor first to collaborate with you, and second to speak about, it's just one festivity. I'm sorry, it's a hard time here. I think everywhere, but yeah, I'm back pain anyway. So I'm really happy that I could make it out of bed to be with you today. And so I will speak about a festivity that happens in my town, that are festivities in honor of São Gonçalinho. São Gonçalo is a saint that is well known all over the world and also in other towns in Portugal, but here in Aveiro we do it in a different way. So it's a Catholic festivity, a Christian festivity, but we do it in a not very formal way. So you will see how we do it. So we have several festivities in honor of saints. Most of them happen in summer because it's nicer. But this one is in January. So it's the weekend that is closest to the 10th of January is missing there because it's the day of the death of this saint. You can see here an announcement because we have parties like I heard on our colleagues, and we have the Christian part all together in one weekend. And this is really important also because it's not a festivity of the town, of the city, but of a neighborhood of the city. But it becomes so big that it's in the TV, it's everywhere. So we are also having problems in managing tourism because of this, but it's in a nice way. Can you change it, Julia? Sorry. So, I mean, just to tell you where Aveiro is, and the neighborhood is just a part of Aveiro, and we call it Beira-Mar, that means near the sea, but it's not really near the sea because we are like 11 kilometers far from the sea, but it was the neighborhood where the fishermen came in the past. So that is the name of the neighborhood. So, yes. So, why São Gonçalinho here? Because he's original from other city in Portugal. São Gonçalo is the saint that has more followers after Santo Antonio in Lisbon. As everyone knows, the big festivities in our national capital. And the legends say that he lived in Aveiro, where he won the faith of the inhabitants of this neighborhood, this Beira-Mar neighborhood, because he gave them luck to go when they went to the sea. And they picture him as a small boy. In fact, only here, everyone calls him a small boy, the eternal boy, every time. So we call it not São Gonçalo, but São Gonçalinho, that in Portuguese is something little. So he's known to be a holy matchmaker and a saint that cures bone-related diseases. The most important promises that you can make to São Gonçalinho are related with love matchmakers, and especially of old people. So if you want to get married, then you do your promises to São Gonçalinho. So during these days we have several traditions. The first one is that we have these promises and we pay them with sweets, with what we call it cavacas, that are these sweet white sweets white with the sugar on top, that are made only with flour. So it's flour and sugar on top, and they are really hard. And the idea is that you do your promise in kilos of these sweets, and you go on the top of the chapel, as you can see in the first picture, this little girl doing, and you throw them to the people that is on the floor, as you see in the second picture. Then we have this very nice tradition that is we drink liquor from the cavaca also. So these liquor are traditional from my region. They are made at home, and then you drink from the cavaca, as you can see is one of my colleagues that is doing that. Can you change? Okay. So what are the cavacas? This small boy is a cousin of mine, and he's on the top of the cavacas because you can throw more than 5 tons of cavacas in this weekend. It's unbelievable. So you have bags of 5 kilos every time that you go on the top of the chapel. We do it even if we don't have the promise. We have not made the promises in the year before, because it's nice to go there. And this practice as a payment of promises is very characteristic and is very peculiar of this festivity, and that is one of the reasons why I wanted to speak about, and trying to convince you to come in January. That is a bit more colder than now, but it's very nice. Julia? Okay. So then there are some parts that are traditions related with the church, but not so much. So we have this dance of the limps. So there's a group of men that inside the chapel, they do these dances, and they sing songs with sometimes bad words. Okay, so it's not really very Catholic, as I was saying. And another ritual that it's the beginning at the end of the next festivity, is this delivery of the branch that takes place, as he said, in the late afternoon inside the chapel, and is very emotional because it means that someone is giving to another group this right and willing of organizing the festivities for the next 2 years. So every 2 years, and then the next slide, Julia, please. In the next 2 years, or every 2 years, there's this stewardship of São Gonçalinho. That is this group of men that are supported, of course, by businessmen and by people from the neighborhood and the municipality, that organizes during the year parties and festivities to have money and to have funds to organize this big weekend in January. I had this small video just to give you a hint about the environment that we live in this weekend, and to convince you to come, of course. So these are the streets. So they are all ornamented with the lights. This is the chapel that is very small. They don't do weddings, they don't do anything inside. And then here you have the people catching the cavacas. And you can have them catching by hand, as you can see, or with these nets. You see that they're coming. Of course, they are very hard, as I was saying. So sometimes if the thing doesn't help, then can be a problem. Okay. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Marta. I think that we have to start preparing the bags right now to be ready for January.
You will be very, very welcome. And I wish to see you around one of these years.
Well, I hope that in January we will be able to have at least one of our kickoff meetings in
No,
Portugal.
definitely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marta. What was the name for this? Cavacas?
Cavacas.
Cavacas.
Yes.
Okay. If not in Portugal, you have to bring them to
I will. And there's the hard ones and the soft ones. The soft ones are really nice with coffee. Really, really nice.
Perfect. Then we know what we will have for coffee break at some of our meetings. Thank you very much. It was fantastic. Cultures and traditions of Europe, and Europe with so many traditions. That is professional at partying and festivities, at festivals, but not only Europe. Today we are going to listen to a very different presentation. We are going also to listen about festivities in China. And Anna will present them to us now. Anna, are you here?
Yes, of course. Hello, everybody. Now I'm going to talk about one of the most important festivities in China and also all over the world. Can you pass the next slide, please? Okay. So the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year changes every year because it is determined by the lunar calendar, and it is the second new moon after the winter solstice. So it is normally between the 21st of January and the 20th of February. 2020 was on the 25th of January. It is celebrated in many Asian countries like China, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, Japan, and in many European countries where there is a big population of Chinese origin. The most important one, or the biggest one, is in London, but here in Spain we also have important celebrations in the big cities, in Madrid and Barcelona, and even in Tarragona we had a big celebration. Not so big, not this year, but last year and 2 years before we had celebration here in Tarragona. Okay, so the Chinese zodiac is each year symbolizes has an animal as a symbol, and they are 12 animals. We will see in next slide. 2020 is the year of the rat, which is the first animal of the zodiac cycle. And rat symbolizes intelligence, wealth, and abundance. Okay, the rat is not bad for Chinese. For European, it is not a very nice animal, but in the Chinese horoscope, it is not bad. So these are all the animals that are in the Chinese horoscope. So you can see the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, okay, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. In some countries there is a cat instead of the rabbit. In Vietnam, for example. Okay, thank you. So the Chinese New Year celebrations are 15 days. It is a very, very big festivity where all the shops are closed, the companies are closed, and most of the people go back to the cities of origin and to visit the family and the relatives. It is said that on the average, they are like 3 billion people that go, that travel these days. So then, they make some preliminary work like cleaning the house, shopping, and so on. But the first day is the New Year's Eve, when the family gathers and has dinner together, eats together, and they stay up late, watch TV. There is a very important gala on TV that is very known. And then there are no gifts like in European countries, but children are given red envelopes with money inside, okay, with lucky money. The money has to be an even number, and if possible, it has to be multiple of 8 to be lucky. The next day after is the Chinese New Year, where people set off firecrackers and fireworks and offer sacrifices to the ancestors. And during the next week, a lot of people visit family and friends. And in day 8, the festivities are, the holidays are finished for most of the people because they go back to work. But in fact, the festivities last until the day 15, which is the Lantern Festival, where people eat sweet dumplings, set off more fireworks, and then lights and lanterns with, okay, put some wishes in the lanterns, and the lanterns fly away. So the next. Traditions that bring good luck. Okay, everything has to be decorated in red, which is the auspicious colors. In the red envelopes, they have the there has to be this even number of money and then these envelopes. This is an example here of the envelopes. There is the character for luck and for no, it's luck and happiness. Then people eat fish for prosperity, Chinese dumplings for wealth, and glutinous rice to have a higher income on position. Most of the food have like these kind of meanings. You have to eat this because you become that. And then you light a lot of firecrackers and fireworks to scare away the evil and bring good luck. All the things that Chinese do have like a legend or some history that is related to this, but it would be too long to speak about all the legends here, so it's impossible. And then superstitions don't do. For example, you have to clean your house before the festivities, but you cannot clean your house during the New Year's Day. Not with a broom in any case, because you will scaring away the fortune and you will sweeping away your good luck. So presents that you don't have to give never is pears, because it sounds like living, shoes because it sounds like demon, and watches because to give a watch sounds like to attend a funeral. Okay, so here it is difficult to understand, but in Chinese there are a lot of homophones and a lot of words that have the same sound and different meaning. So if a word sounds like other word that is bad, it is bad. And then another thing that you don't have to do during the festivities is to cut your hair. So because the use of sharp objects will cut off the flow of wealth. So if you have to go to the hairdressers, you have better go before the festivities. But then they will be closed anyway. Okay, so that's all. I hope you found it interesting.
It is, Anna. It is. This year we organized a party here in the office, and I don't remember. It was at least during those 2 weeks of Chinese New Year festivities. And it was actually very interesting. Okay, don't cut your hair. It's good to know, not cut your hair. I know that after the lockdown, a lot of people stay at home for weeks without cutting hair, and now all of the hairdressers are full of the people. Then, what is good, you see that life is continuing. I mean, we have already started opening hairdressers, we have shops open, we have some bars and restaurants open, and it means that whatever happens, everything has its end. I think that the lockdown is about finishing. We will see what will be in the next month, but I hope that that is the beginning of a new start, of a new phase in our life.